Welcome back to another episode of the Craftavore Tastes. I am your host, Max. And today we are getting into a beer from Counterweight Brewing Company in Hamden, Connecticut. This beer is Vulture Culture Double IPA. So this double IPA is actually brewed with 100% Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken. So if you've watched my other videos, you know that I am a whore for Southern Hemisphere hops, so I had to get into it. Big shout out to my buddy Adam for hooking me up with this can. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. So if you don't know anything about Counterweight Brewing Company, Counterweight's relatively new brewery. I think they're under 2 years old, maybe year and a half. And it was actually started by Matt Westfall, who is, or who used to be, the head brewer at New England Brewing Company, or NEBCO. So obviously has a really great background. Pedigree, went out on his own, started Counterweight Brewing Company in Hamden. And here we go. So what we're going to do, obviously, is the old drill. We're going to give it a look at the appearance, get an aroma, obviously a taste, and then we'll give it a rating. All right. So let's go ahead and pop a top on this beer. No canning date, but trust my buddy Adam. This has got to be super fresh. So let's go ahead and just open her up, place her straight into a glass. We'll just get a good, nice view here, an aggressive pour. All right. This guy's set right there. All right, so a little too much of an aggressive pour there for me. Tremendous amount of head coming out of there. Beer is super, super hazy, so haze for days. Beer looks gorgeous. Beer coming in a kind of straw yellow color. Looks really awesome. Again, probably a little bit too aggressive of a pour there, but you got at least a good two kind of fingers of head. A little bit rocky on that sense, condensed bubbles. Looks really awesome. Let's go ahead and dive our nose into it and get an aroma. Oh my God. Woo! Passion fruit. Oh man, all different types of just kind of super big kind of forward citrus. Almost kind of a sweet kind of candy-like flavor that's coming out of that. Not in the sense where kind of, like an overly kind of malt sweetness. Not whatsoever. It's actually candy flavor almost coming from that passion fruit. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that kind of bubblegum, kind of starburst thing going on, which I really, really like. Happens a lot with a lot of Galaxy beers, but man, that is pineapple and passion fruit forward, man. That's freaking dope. Let's go ahead and give her a taste. Adam, cheers, sir. Oh, wow. So, immediately right when you taste that Galaxy is pouring through. Tremendous amount of, again, passion fruit kind of forward. It's got a little bit of that muddled kind of fruit flavor mixed in with almost kind of herbal elements that I often get out of Galaxy. A little bit of kind of bitterness kind of floating now into the back of the palate, dissipating relatively quickly. Go back in for another taste again. Yeah. Really, really nice. Again, passion fruit, a tremendous amount of pineapple now coming through. Mouth feels kind of super nice. It's soft. It totally works. Not a tremendous amount of carbonation going on, so it kind of lends itself a little bit more to that soft mouth feel. But again, it is very pineapple and very passion fruit forward. Getting a little bit more kind of bitterness now than kind of I'm used to for a little bit more of kind of the New England style IPAs. It is kind of hanging around there, but it's not in a bad way actually at all. That kind of bitterness that's kind of layering in right in my tongue right now is just kind of reminding me that, hey, you're still drinking an IPA. I wouldn't necessarily go forward to say that it is a super, super aggressive kind of New England style kind of juice bomb with like very little IBUs. It's not that. It's definitely got elements of that without question. It is super pineapple, citrus, passion fruit forward, but it has a little bit of that body and kind of lingering bitterness there. Not a tremendous amount of malts coming through. Maybe a little kind of breadiness, maybe a little kind of cracker sweetness. But really, it's mostly all of that kind of citrus, passion fruit, and pineapple forward. All of the stars that you're going to expect to see from 100% Galaxy beer. So go back in for one more before we give her a rating. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is really, really good. So, rating from the Craftavore Tastes, It's an easy 4.25, man. I mean, straight up. If you're in the Hamden, Connecticut area or anywhere in Connecticut, stop by Counterweight. This is actually one, I haven't had too many of their beers, but I'd be honestly hard pressed to tell you right now that there are many breweries in Connecticut producing beers as good as they are right now. And that's pretty amazing to say, considering the fact they've only been around for, a year and a half or maybe less than 2 years, if I'm correct. So 4.25 caps for Counterweight's Vulture Culture Double IPA. Hope you come back and watch another episode of the Craftavore Tastes, where you can watch me again drink, review, rate, and then repeat. Cheers.